Welcome back. Well, Nawaz Sharif says his party will maintain its support for the PPP-led government and will not join the opposition. But many think that with the PMLN now withdrawing, the PPP could end up inviting Musharraf's allies to join the coalition or even call for fresh elections. Pervez Musharraf will certainly benefit from the coalition breakup. That would provide him with a political lifeline. Musharraf has remarkably distanced himself from the day-to-day running of Pakistan since the new coalition government took office. For many observers outside Pakistan, a collapse of this government will be seen as a setback to the country's transition to democracy after 8 years of military rule under Pervez Musharraf. Well, joining us again are our guests in Islamabad, Irfan Hussain, also in Islamabad, Latif Khosa, and in Lahore, Arifa Khalid. Mr. Hussain, is President Pervez Musharraf strengthened in the current position?
Yes, I think if this coalition does break up, the government has broken up, but the PMLN says it will support the People's Party in Parliament. Obviously, Musharraf is stronger in such a scenario. However, the fact remains that he remains a very unpopular man in Pakistan today. And I think the People's Party would draw the line at inviting him to actually share power in any executive sense. So I think Musharraf, while he would get a lifeline, I mean, his survival would be ensured, but I don't think he'll have an executive role to play in Pakistan as long as an elected government is in power. So I think he would certainly gain marginally, but the biggest winner would be Nawaz Sharif, because he is seen as standing up to Musharraf and sticking to his guns, whereas the People's Party is being perceived as backing down on this issue. So I think in terms of public perceptions, the People's Party would lose out and Nawaz Sharif would be the big winner here.
Latif Khosa, the People's Party losing out in terms of public perception. What do you make of that?
I don't think so. So I beg to disagree, because you see the people's problem for which we have committed ourselves to resolve those issues. It is the deliverance of the Pakistan People's Party, and even if Nawaz Sharif, which we do not want and we do not expect that he will leave us, even if he does, we will still have a formidable government, because the MQM would obviously is on board with us. We cannot, you see, have a sin in turbulence, the urban and the rurals. We are already in alliance with them. The JUI is in alliance with us. The ANP is in alliance with us. The Fatah are in alliance with us. We have a very safe majority and a safe sailing. We want to carry everybody, you see, because we think Pakistan belongs to all the countrymen, and they deserve a better treatment, and they deserve a better Pakistan. And Pakistan is not just going to bank on the restoration of judges. That is hardly an issue which a common man would want to see. You see, now go and see the lawyer are abusing, and they are saying, what the hell is going on for the last 1.5 years? The people are starving, and this is the only issue they think. I do not agree that Nawaz Sharif is going to gain anything out of it. Everybody appeared today in the courts. I was in Lahore, I'm a lawyer myself. Everybody appeared. And unfortunately, the media is saying there was a complete boycott of the courts. Believe you me, not a single case was unattended in the High Court. And in Supreme Court, not for a single day ever since the 3rd of November onwards has the boycott taken place, even though the President of Supreme Court has been barging in other areas of a boycott, etc. But in his own constituency, he's not been able to enforce a
sorry to
boycott for
interrupt
one
you.
day.
Let's bring in Arifa Khalid here. I want to broaden it out slightly. Reading an article from the Wall Street Journal in the United States, it had reported that the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State Richard Boucher advised both Sharif and Zardari to avoid confrontation with Musharraf. It cooks up some interesting questions, doesn't it, regarding foreign pressure and foreign interference. What do you think?
There is no confrontation with Musharraf. It's a confrontation with the dictator. We don't want army or military ruling our country. We want democracy, like there's democracy in US, like there's democracy in many countries. It's not a personal grudge against anyone. It's just that we want democracy, and people have voted for democracy, and I don't know if who would gain out of it, but definitely Mian Nawaz Sharif has a stand, and his stand is very, very clear to the whole world, and he is definitely with the people of Pakistan. Whatever we had the votes, because people wanted this, wanted us to take this stand, and it's very, very clear. I mean, there is no denying that we definitely want the judiciary to be restored, and that is the first thing we want, and we would stick to it.
Irfan Hussain, how likely are fresh elections?
Well, I don't think that will be immediate, but possibly if things start unraveling the way they have started to, then perhaps by the end of this year, because if the coalition doesn't hold together and there's instability, and it is not entirely impossible that we could be seeing elections later this year, in which case I still think that Nawaz Sharif would be the big winner, because like it or not, this the issue about the judges resonates very deeply in Pakistan. I've talked to a lot of people, and they say that we understand that the government can't control prices, but why don't they do something about what they can control, which is restore the judges? So I'm afraid whatever our friend from the People's Party is saying, the fact remains that among public perceptions, I think the People's Party is hemorrhaging support, and it shouldn't underestimate how deeply this is resonating.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. You mentioned how important the issue of the judges is. Let's go to Latif Khosa. The deposed Chief Justice Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry has developed a sense of a cult of celebrity around him almost since he was deposed. Has that maybe been a hindrance to the People's Party?
You see, we have given the maximum sacrifices for the restoration of judiciary. We have also suffered the maximum at the hands of the judiciary. We want a change of the system, not only the judicial system, the entire system of this country, so that nobody in future suffers, whether People's Party is there in power or People's Party is not there in power. We want the system of this country to change. We want stability of the institutions, not of persons being in charge of the at the helm of affair in determining the fate of 180 million people of Pakistan. We want continuity in policies. We want the supremacy and sovereignty of the parliament, which is the people's right to rule this country, not the judiciary. The judiciary is only there to interpret the will of the people of Pakistan. It cannot legislate, it cannot execute, it can only interpret.
Okay, so Latif Khosa, you've made your point. Thank you very much. We have run out of time on the program. Irfan Hussain, Latif Khosa and Arifa Khalid, thank you very much for joining us here on this edition of Inside Story. And thank you so much, the viewer, for joining us. We welcome your comments and suggestions. Email them to us at insidestory@aljazeera.net. Bye-bye for now.